That makes sense. I'm sure lots of people buying this car are looking for that. Oh! Hello, fine people of interweb world. It's your favorite abandoned warehouse nut job here with another car review. Today I'm reviewing a 2020 Genesis G90. It has been redesigned for the 2020 model year, and they like to call it the G Matrix design language. The only thing I got out of that is they have a G in it, and this thing looks straight gangster. The joke was almost fire. It was almost. It sounded better in my head before I said it. That happens a lot. Prior to getting this G90 for review, I had never seen one in person before. I actually had to Google what the prior generation looked like, and I can see why I never noticed it. It was kind of bland looking until it got redesigned in 2020. Now it just looks straight gangster. I don't think it's an issue with this car not getting noticed anymore. I like how they took the daytime running light and directional and made this clean line that flows to the center of the headlight onto the fender over here. I only wish these fender vents on the side though were real. I don't like fake plastic vents on any car. They totally made up for it though with the wheels that are on this car. They're staggered 19 by 8.5 front, 19 by 9.5 rear. As far as the rear end goes, the taillights are a giant unibrow and the exhaust tips are almost the same shape as the front grille. I like how the backup camera and the button to open the trunk are blended into the sheet metal of the lid. As you would expect, the trunk on this car is absolutely enormous. It's deep, and it's got some really furry carpet in here too. Oh, this is really soft. I know some of you watching right now are a little bit confused whether or not this is a Hyundai or a Genesis, because I've been asked in person since driving this car. And what Hyundai did was they created a luxury brand called Genesis, similar to how Toyota has Lexus. Let me know in the comment section below, what do you think about this? Do you think it was a smart decision to do that? I don't even know where to start with the interior of this thing. There is so many buttons in here for me to press and so much to talk about. But I'm gonna keep it short, sweet, and to the simple, because you guys know I roll. I'm not gonna bore you by reading off a brochure. I will do the seat bolster test though, because you guys get upset if I don't do it. It's good for being a comfy seat. And these are 22-way adjustable seats. And on top of that, they automatically adjust your steering wheel, your mirrors, and your heads-up display based on your seat setting, because the car is smart and it knows how tall you are. Of course, the seats are heated and cooled, as well as your steering wheel is heated. And the rear, that's a whole nother story back there. Man, if you're a kid and your parents drive one of these cars, you are spoiled. The color of the materials on this interior are absolutely gorgeous, from the peanut butter colored leather that feels absolutely exquisite to the touch, to the headliner that is done in a dark chocolate brown suede. The dash is done in a dark brown leather, but the piping is done in a contrasting color to match the seats. So gorgeous in here. And the wood, grainy, feels like real wood. Oh my god, it's got heated and cooled seats back here? Are you shitting me? Because this is technically a Hyundai product, it has an absolutely adorable hazard button right above the analog clock that kind of gives me Lexus vibes a little bit in here. There is so much to do in this back seat. It has its own little tablets. This is insane. I literally have the same menu as up front. I can't believe that. Oh, is it touchscreen? It's not touchscreen though. The interior lights in here look like diamonds, I think. Of course, this 12.3-inch touchscreen display for the infotainment system speaks both fruit and robot, so you can pair your cell phones to it with ease. Shut up. This seat, what? Oh my god, the back seat reclines in here. I haven't sat in this thing yet since I've had it for the review. This is insane. There's a big knob here in the center console to control that infotainment system, as well as all the buttons are done in brushed aluminum, which are very satisfying to both touch and look at. Are you serious? Oh, I have a makeup vanity back here. There's a makeup vanity in the back seat. The center console has butterfly doors like a Mercedes, and you can put a fair bit of penguins inside there. It's got old school cigarette lighter type plugs. Why doesn't it have USBs in there? Huge fan of the Lexicon sound system in here. And one thing I point out is no matter where your head is in the car, the volume level is always the same. Oh, that's awesome. I can control that from back here? I can't believe people actually own cars that have back seats like this. That is crazy. This thing's got just a little whisper of an aggressive cold start in the morning. The gauges in here are fairly simple. You have analog on the sides for your tachometer and speedo, and it's digital in the center with a couple little menu systems you can go through, as well as it does have a heads-up display. There are 4 different drive modes that you can adjust with a button down here in the center console. There is Comfort, which is comfy. There's Sport. You hear that? A little air pump tightening up my bolstering in the seat, and it actually bolsters pretty decent in sport mode. Eco. It just deflated and inflated something else that I couldn't feel. And then you have Custom, which you can configure on your own. In the name of science, I am now going to give it the beans. Going to put it into sport mode. Tightened up my bolster, and I'm also going to disable traction control. Give it a little assistance on the launch. Ready? Hesitate. There we go. Sounds good. Okay. It's very smooth. It's holding gear. It wants to go. It wants to go. Sport mode's actually kind of smart. Ooh, that's smooth. That is a pretty engine bay. Look at the red on the intake. They didn't have to put gloss red on here. Hello, and welcome to Garage Science with Sarah. I was seriously impressed when I popped the hood on this thing. No joke, it is a pretty engine bay, and it's surprising. It looks like it'd be fairly easy to work on this thing despite there being a 4-cam V8 stuffed underneath the hood. And speaking of 4-cam V8s, it is an all aluminum, naturally aspirated 5-liter V8 that produces 383 pound-feet of torque at 5,000 RPM and 420 horsepower at 6,000 RPM. This engine actually sits pretty far back in the bay. I mean, look at the strut towers. It's pretty close to the front of the block. Now, you can get this with a turbo 6-cylinder as an option, and that engine produces a little bit less horse and torque. However, the peak torque comes in at 1,300 RPM on that. So despite the V8 being the faster of the two, I have a feeling the 6-cylinder would feel faster. It's time for the braking test. See what this big boat can do. Ready? Oh, wow. I should have not called it a big boat, because the thing stops pretty good. Hi, I'm back. The drivetrain paired to this G8BE, that is the engine code in case you're one of those kind of car nerds that cares about those things, like yours truly here, is an 8-speed automatic transmission that shifts rather quickly and smoothly. I like the transmission that's in this thing. It does a good job. Now you can get this with all-wheel drive as an option in case you live in a snowy climate or you just want to do some serious launches in your G90. I personally like the rear-wheel drive though. Now this is weird and unexpected. Trying to see if this thing can handle a tight, windy back road. Because that makes sense. I'm sure lots of people buying this car are looking for that. Oh, it's kind of like floating a boat down a river. Oh, and I got a little bit of oversteer on that. That was fun. Yeah, I mean, it'll go around a corner. You don't buy one of these cars to do that kind of stuff though, but it was fun to do it at least. I'm gonna switch this thing back into comfort mode though, because that's what you buy one of these cars for. You buy it to flex and to be comfortable. It is absolutely a astonishing how quiet it is inside the cabin in this car. I know I don't mention safety very often in my car reviews. There we go. And that's just because this is a performance-oriented channel, so it's kind of what I focus on more. However, one thing that really stood out to me about this car, it does have the rear cross-traffic monitoring. However, it incorporates that into the child safety locks on the back doors so that if it detects a car in that zone, it'll prevent the rear doors from opening, so it keeps your kids safe in the back seat. Your very spoiled kids that get to ride in that back seat. Thing's got good mid-range punch though. It is quick. It is definitely a quick car, but it's buttery smooth, so it's kind of deceptive how fast this thing is. I'll admit, I never really understood the appeal of big luxury sedans like this. I haven't really experienced too many of them in my life, and I'm kind of liking this. It makes you just want to go for a relaxing drive somewhere without driving fast, which kind of goes against my DNA because I just don't understand the point of going somewhere without enjoying the road that you're driving on. But there's different ways to enjoy a road, and this is the way that makes you want to sleep while you're enjoying the road. I'll have to say, for this car being a few £100 shy of 5,000, it gets pretty decent fuel economy. I've been averaging 7.2 over the past week I've been driving this car, and granted this is a car review, so I don't drive it like the normal human being that would buy one of these. But, oh, it just went up, 17.3. That's not bad for a car that has 420 horsepower. I have a naturally aspirated V8. You can get this with that twin turbo V6, and I think that is an interesting option. However, the V8 just makes more sense with a big car like this. It's gangster. So if you've never seen one of my car reviews before, I have multiple categories to rate and assess vehicles that are named after food groups and creatures that dwell in cold environments. Starting with the bean score. It is a rating of 1 to 5 beans based on the feeling you get in your gut when you give it the beans. And the 2020 Genesis G90 is going to get a rating of 1.5 beans. It's quick, but it's so buttery smooth, it doesn't really feel quick. It's not meant to be quick though, it's meant to be comfy. And if there was a comfy score, it would get top marks. Next is the cookie category. It is a rating of 1 to 5 cookies based on what you get for what you spend. It's an assessment of value. And the Genesis G90 is getting a rating of 4.5 cookies. I gotta stop, there's another airplane going by. I'm near an airport. I can't help it. I wonder if they can see me through the holes in this roof. Hello, airplane. Last up is the penguin score. It is a rating of 1 to 5 penguins based on how much I personally like a car. And this G90 is going to get a rating of 2.5 penguins. It gets an average score because this isn't really a type of car that piques my interest. I do like it for what it is, but I would much rather see them take this engine that's in here and stuff it in their own rear-wheel drive sports car like a Mustang or a Camaro competitor. That would be interesting. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I will see you soon with another. Bye.